don't rank quite as high in popularity polls as pirates and ninjas, but Vikings can definitely hold their own when it comes to killing. So how do they fare in Creative Assembly's newest crack at console action, Viking: Battle for Asgard? Setting the stage for massive amounts of Viking bloodshed, Freya and Hel have started up the ultimate sexy Norse goddess girl fight, dragging the entire world into a bloody battle for freedom. Hel has been banished from the swanky heaven of Asgard, and she's not taking it lightly. In order to stop her rebellion, the goddess Freya chooses Skarin as her emissary of earthly ass-kicking down in Midgard. When the gods make war, we mere mortals generally go with the flow. Brief chats with Freya, blood-red visions, and the occasional comic book-style exposition drive the overarching story, while you engage in the immediate story of gathering allies and making war. Most of the drama is backstory, but it's easy to follow the series of events as they ramp up towards the conclusion. You'll always have a clear sense of what you're trying to accomplish. While the game's most obvious feature is bloody, limb-sundering combat, there's also a strong adventure element. As the clean-shaven Skarin, you'll scour the countryside for allies and supplies, liberate lands that have been captured by the enemy, and occasionally go toe-to-toe with your counterpart, Hel's own champion, Draken. The world of Viking is divided into 3 areas. When you first set foot into each, you'll find your allies in bad shape, and the land perpetually patrolled by demonic warriors known as Legion. While you can't take the enemy head-on yourself, scouring the land and completing missions will help you build a sizable Viking army capable of taking down the largest of enemy strongholds in an impressive, large-scale battle. Accomplishing tasks, such as liberating a lumber mill or taking out a watchtower, set the stage for larger battles, which may have additional quest-like requirements. Before the first major battle, you'll need a dragon amulet to summon heavy artillery, for example. Oftentimes, accomplishing a mission will lead to a follow-up request, such as retrieving a lost item crucial to the war effort.
But if you desire us to follow you into battle, then we will need more proof that you have what it takes to lead us.
You can see your army grow as you go along, and it's satisfying to fill up a formerly occupied city with cheerful, hard-drinking Viking compatriots. But unfortunately, the rush of victory is dulled by repetition. You summon a dragon on the first island, and you summon another on the second island. You can't argue that 2 dragons aren't better than 1, but by the 3rd island, you're liberating your 3rd distillery, staging your 3rd ambush, and taking down your 3rd watchtower while fighting the same enemies. The major battles, as cool as they are, also change very little as you move forward. As your armies grow, Skarin finds himself with a bigger health bar. He can also learn new moves by cashing in money at an arena or upgrade 3 elemental attacks. Even so, character growth is disappointingly limited. Freya will actually call you to upgrade your weapon before a major battle, but after thrusting your trusty sword and axe into a glowing pillar of light, they come out looking pretty much the same, with no noticeable improvement. Maybe they're a little shinier, bigger, or stronger, you can't really tell, and it's too bad. When you're not doing battle, you're free to roam, which lets you recruit bonus troops, but you don't really notice them in battle. Along the way, you collect gold, which you use to purchase items, and during certain battles, skulls, which unlock achievements in the 360 version, and are completely useless in the PS3 iteration. The fighting in Viking is at one time awesome, and another ridiculously clumsy. One thing the game always does right, though, is Viking stealth. If enemies haven't seen you yet, you automatically sneak around and can kill unsuspecting enemies with a single attack. If you're found out, there's no awkward transition from stealth mode to fighting. You draw your weapons and have an opportunity to fight your way out of trouble. Once you get used to the dodge, the ever-useful shield bash, and learn a few new fury moves, which let you bash away shields or get the drop on quick enemies, the combat system proves itself to be pretty enjoyable. You can purchase a few thrown weapons like axes and exploding barrels, but they're not really essential to completing missions. The gory finishers you can perform on wounded enemies and bosses are shamelessly ripped from God of War, but they still haven't worn out their welcome. One place where the imitation isn't quite as welcome is the constant reliance on rapid button mashing. Whether you're opening a chest, pulling a lever, turning a key, or even holding up an amulet, the game asks you to hammer a button like a maniac to prove your Viking manliness. Making your way from objective to objective takes a lot of walking, but there are ley stones that let you warp. Having to walk can still be a drag though, thanks to a cumbersome jump and slow gait. Once you've prepared your army for a major assault, battles take on a different feel. Both armies have shamans who resurrect and effectively respawn fallen troops, so while hacking through crowds helps your immediate war effort, it's important to take out huge Lord of the Rings style ogres and big dudes with bigger swords. This will earn you dragon runes for fire support. The siege style battles are definitely a highlight, but there's no consistency between these special battles and normal gameplay. Why can't you get any volunteers to liberate the lumber mills? And why does your dragon never feel like taking out huge contingents of enemies brazenly marching down a road? It's not impressive across the board, but Viking has its moments of majesty. You'll definitely come across a few scenic vistas, and there's an interesting stormy to sunny transition as you move from friendly to hostile territory. The violent kills are nicely animated, but the game suffers from subdued audio that fails to convey the chaos of battle, robbing the game of gravity during key scenes. It's also hard not to notice that lips don't move when people talk.
Let your pet defend himself, Hel. Do you fear your blessing will not be enough?
And the game obviously chugs during the huge battles, although the trade-off is an admittedly impressive number of combatants on screen. Clocking in at 10 to 15 hours, Viking has good ideas and strength in numbers, even if its performance suffers a bit. The vicious combat is a lot of fun, and building your army and laying siege to the enemy is a compelling experience in an action game setting. If it didn't run out of ideas so quickly and had a smoother presentation, Viking could have struck an even mightier blow.